Welcome to 21st Sports, and we're talking the San Diego Chargers at the Indianapolis Colts in their Week 3 matchup played September 25th, 2016. What a wild and crazy game this was. It looked like it could go either way multiple times throughout the game. But it all started off with Adam Vinatieri and his 38-yard field goal to put the first points on the scoreboard to give the Colts the lead 3-0. Then still in the first, Frank Gore with a 6-yard touchdown run, and it was 10-0 Colts over the Chargers. So that was the score after one. Then in the second quarter, just moments in, Josh Lambo put the Chargers on the board with a 42-yard field goal to make it 10-3. Lambo kicked his second field goal of the game less than a minute later, a 34-yard field goal that made it 10-6. But then the Colts got back on the board with Adam Vinatieri's second field goal of the game, a 33-yarder, as he extended Indianapolis's lead to 7 with the score 13-6. But then 1 minute left before halftime, Karan Reed returns a fumble 61 yards for the touchdown to tie this game up at 13 apiece. So the Chargers with the fumble return, as luck with the fumble, and it was 13-13 at halftime. Then in the third quarter, the Chargers took the lead for the first time in this game, courtesy of a 1-yard touchdown run by Melvin Gordon, and it was 19-13. But the Colts came right back, took the lead back there in the third with a 1-yard touchdown run of their own by Robert Turbin. So it's 20-19 headed into the fourth. But the Chargers would take the lead about midway through the fourth quarter with a 27-yard field goal by Josh Lambo, and it was 22-20. Then, with just over a minute left in this game, Andrew Luck hits T.Y. Hilton, and Hilton spins off the tackle, and he takes off, and he goes 63 yards for the touchdown. They went for two. They did not convert, but it was 26-22 at this point. The Colts now up by 4 as they took back the lead. So then the Chargers had another chance, but a fumble, and it was recovered by the Colts, and it seemed like that was it, as there was less than a minute left to play. But the Colts went 3 and out, and they would end up having to punt the ball, and now the Chargers got one last chance, and then another fumble, and this one would bring this game to a close as the Colts hold on to win 26-22, and they get 2 fumble recoveries in the final minute of the game after that 63-yard spectacular play by T.Y. Hilton. And that was quite the highlight. You should check it out for sure. They have it up on NFL.com. I'm sure across many other sports outlets as well. But of course, it's always good to go to the official. That's always where I go to check out all my highlights. But what a game, and the Colts needed this one. Their first win of the season. They could ill afford to go down 0-3, but they get into the win column. They're now 1-2 on the season. They're 500 at home. But the Chargers now fall below 500. They are 1-2 as well, and they are winless on the road, 0-2 away from San Diego. Like I said, this one could have went either way. It was a really tight game. But look at the numbers. Andrew Luck, 24 for 37, 331 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Phillip Rivers was 26 for 39 with 330 yards. So both quarterbacks throwing over 330 yards. Rivers did not have a touchdown or an interception in this game. The leading rusher in the game was Frank Gore, 21 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Turbin also had a touchdown. He had just 4 carries for 9 yards. And that was, of course, for the Colts. For the Chargers, Melvin Gordon, 16 carries for just 35 yards. He did, however, have a touchdown, but not much production other than that touchdown, as he was averaging just over 2 yards per carry. But the leading receiver, T.Y. Hilton, 8 catches, 174 yards, including that 63-yard touchdown that would end up being the game winner, as he had a big day. And for the Chargers, Benjamin had 4 catches for 82 yards. Let me look at the defense for the Colts. Geathers with a forced fumble, and Walden with 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. And for the Chargers, Perriman and Brown each had sacks. Hayward had an interception, and Brown and Emmanuel each had forced fumbles. As there is some serious fumbleitis going on in this game. We look at the first downs, 24-17 in favor of Indianapolis. On third down, both teams were struggling. The Chargers 4 for 11, just 36%. The Colts were 2 for 9 on third down, just 22% conversion rate for Indianapolis. They did, however, convert the only fourth down they went for, as they were 1 for 1, 100% on fourth downs. Total net yards, 410 to 356 in favor of the Colts. And on the ground, the Colts had almost 3 times as many rushing yards, 93 to 37 net rushing yards for the Colts, as they averaged 3.6 rushing yards per rushing play. And the Chargers just 2.2. They were really struggling on the ground. It was more even through the air, 319 to 317 netted, with the Chargers having the slight advantage, both quarterbacks having been sacked twice in the game. We look at the penalties. Both teams, 10 penalties. That's quite a bit. 20 penalties in the game, evenly split between them, but 80 penalty yards against the Chargers, 66 penalty yards against the Colts. And these two teams combined for 6 fumbles, 4 fumbles for the Chargers, 3 of which they lost. They did recover 1. And for the Colts, they had 2 fumbles. They recovered 1, they lost 1. And we look at the red zone. The Colts were 2 for 3, 66% for Indianapolis. The Chargers were just 1 for 4 in the red zone, just 25%. And that really did hurt them in this game, as they were not able to get it into the end zone once they got to the red zone. That Colts defense clamping down and forcing them to go for field goals. But you look at the time of possession, 32 minutes, 43 seconds for the Colts versus 27 minutes, 17 seconds for the Chargers. It's an exciting game here between two teams with losing records, but still it was a very exciting game, and 2 very talented teams despite their records. It's still a young season. We'll see where these 2 teams go moving forward, but definitely 2 of the better quarterbacks and more entertaining quarterbacks to watch for sure, although not much going on the ground. Although Frank Gore did have steady production. He didn't hit 100 yards, but he carried the load. He got good production, and that definitely helped them to get the victory, along with some really good defensive play as well, as their defense forcing those turnovers. The 3 fumbles that they recovered was big for the Colts, especially the 2 in the final minute. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Which plays and performances stuck out to you? Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.